If you like ducks, dogs, training, deer hunting, anything outdoors, then this is the podcast for you guys. This is the Flying V Podcast. I'm Thaddeus Bash. I'm your host for this beautiful ride, and I'm assisted by my co-host, Mr. Changmore Vang. You can tune in every week and join us as we talk about anything and everything under the moon that you guys want us to talk about. Some facts, some fiction, and a whole lot of opinions. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's hop into it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Flying V Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, before we even get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share the hell out of this thing. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hit that follow button, guys. Check out a couple of our other ones if you're new here, and stick around. We still got a whole year left to go of the 50 States of Waterfowl series. What we're doing here is we are talking to someone new every week from a different state about everything waterfowl hunting related, and we're going to find out who the best and the worst states are for waterfowl hunting all across the country. This week we have Mr. Freddy King up in Searcy, Arkansas, and he's going to come on here and talk with us about duck hunting up in Arkansas. Now, I told him my biggest challenge with this one is going to be trying not to talk dogs the whole time and trying to focus on duck hunting. If you guys don't know who Freddy is, he's a very well-known name in the dog training industry. He's the owner of the Retriever Trainer, which has helped thousands and thousands of people. Any success that I've had training, I can credit to Mr. King himself. He's also, makes some killer videos. He used to record with the Echo Boys, Echo Calls, and it just, he's a really great all-around dude. We actually got to go up there. We did a podcast recapping it. We got to go up to his property for him and Evan Graham. They did a seminar up there a couple months ago. So just a great guy, makes some great crawfish. It was a good time. So it's going to be a fun episode this week. Arkansas is one of those states that's already from the get-go up at the top of the list as it is. And I think we have a really good representative for this state. So I'm going to go ahead and get Vang on the line, my co-host. We're going to do our weekly recap as always, and then we'll hop right into it. Vang, you hear me?
Yes. What's up, buddy?
All right. Hopefully you're coming through good. Just so everyone knows, we're doing things a little bit differently this week. We're having some computer issues and some lag. So I'm going to have Vang and Freddy on my phone, and they're going to be speaking through the mic. So if it comes through a little bit weird, just bear with me, guys, because you're going to want to stick around for this anyway. But how you been, Vang?
I'm good. Like I said, I don't even know what I'm doing lately, so I should write that down. Track what I'm doing, just so I can tell you guys on the podcast.
You got to take notes every day, write down what you did, what you ate.
I did that.
No, I'm in the same boat. It's almost, I've almost been doing so much that I don't even know what I've done. I don't know where to start because, especially with the move, literally every day this week, I have appointments to take care of, and it's just with work, we've been shorthanded because people have been on leave. So it's just everything, just kind of like you said, turns into a big blur and just whatever. Another week. This is the only, the podcast is really the only set foundation I have for my week. That's the only way I know what day it is.
Me too.
But this is, for anyone watching or listening, this is the last Flying V video and the last podcast that'll be done in this house. We move on Friday, so can't wait. Can't wait to get out of here. Get to set up everything. It's going to be good. It's going to be good for us. Not excited about all the stuff we have to buy for the new house, but whatever.
Yeah.
Couldn't have timed it more terribly with September literally knocking on the door. But it's all good. So,
can't wait.
Dude, I can't wait for September either. It's literally a month away now until dove season here. If I can come up to Minnesota, that'd be freaking awesome. I'd love to. I got days I have to use, but it's going to be hard to logistically. I don't know who's going to fund that trip because You know, like my bank account's running
The only
low.
thing you have to worry about is just coming up here, getting your way up here. You know, I've got a place for you to stay. I'll take care of everything else. You know.
Oh yeah, dude, but gas in my tank would just be brutal.
You know, I get you.
I mean, we're going from the southern part of the country to the far northern part of the country. It would literally probably cost me there and back $1,000 in gas.
Could be.
Like, you know? My truck on the interstate, I get about 10, 12 miles a gallon.
Damn, you're doing just as good as me did.
The dog box made it 10 times worse because it just slows me down even more. So,
yeah,
I'm not an aerodynamic machine at all. So, anyway, let's not ramble. Let's go ahead and get Freddy in here. My phone's actually upside down right now because the speaker's on the microphone. So, I'm trying to type his name in my contact list upside down.
I have no idea.
All right, we got him calling. All right, we got you, Freddy.
How y'all doing?
Good. It's coming through good on my end. Bang, do we still got you good?
Yep, I'm still here.
Perfect. Freddy, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Just, trying to avoid the heat right now. Matter of fact, my phone just beeped a little while ago. Energy said, try to minimize your electricity use. No air conditioning, that sort of thing. I said, bull crap.
Yeah. It's I'm with you. It's this whole week our heat index is up in the hundreds, so it's been brutal.
Y'all down in Louisiana, is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not home of humidity.
Yeah, it's and I felt it today. We're getting ready to move. We went and did our final walkthrough of our house today. And when we left there, it just started thunderstorming, but it was still like 95 out. And I mean, you couldn't even fucking breathe. Walking back into the house, I couldn't even breathe. It was so humid. So it's.
I'm a fat guy, and I do not like daggum humidity. It just don't go well with me.
I heard that. It's I can only imagine with you, running multiple dogs every day. I mean, you got to be out there at 5 o'clock in the morning, huh?
Well, we walk outside about 5:15 every morning and start loading dogs, airing dogs, that sort of thing, getting all the ducks out, dogged. And it's if you don't get an early start, you just won't be able to get enough done with the dogs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm lucky enough that I've got a spot that I can do horse fence and those sorts of things in the shade and get a big fan on these boots. So I'll wait till after we get done with all the field dogs because they got to run first.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, this humidity, even in the shade early morning, about 3 marks and a blind is about all they want and can handle. If they have extended hunts and that grass is tall, like you're speaking of humidity, that humidity is down in that grass and them dogs rooting around trying to find those birds. They will overheat even faster. So,
oh yeah,
you got to be quick. And as soon as you see any issues or a dog starts having extended hunts, then I got it's time to just call them in and give them some water and put them in the shade. And we started carrying fans and a generator with us just this week just because of it.
Yeah, it's been damper on us for our training for sure. We haven't really got a whole lot done the last couple of weeks with my work schedule, and then my pup Boone he's just a very high energy dog he works himself up. I mean, he gets hot when it's cold out. So when it's hot out, I mean, he, like you said, but he's good for maybe 2 marks. And any extended hunts, if that first mark he has to really look for, I mean, that's all we're doing because he's already pretty burnt down. But like I said, I told everyone on here already, I'm going to do my best to not just talk dogs with you. I already introduced you and the retriever trainer. like I said, have helped thousands of people. And, it's a great website and Facebook group and just community in general, what you guys do there at the Retriever Trainer. And I let everyone on the podcast know already, go check it out. If you're a trainer, if you're thinking about getting a pup, it's the best $60 you'll ever spend. There's so many pro trainers on there, and there's a reason why all these pro trainers are on there, because it's great information that is severely underpriced. So if you guys are looking for a dog, check out Freddy's stuff. It's worth every penny. And thank you, Freddy, because like I told them, any success that I've had training can directly be pointed back to you for the most part. So thanks to you for what you do.
Well, I appreciate that, but it's been fun. It's been fun. A lot of great members, and like you said, it's a community of retriever owners, and a little bit more than community. It's pretty much a family.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, it's kind of funny, the people that's been there 3, 4, going almost 5 years. Well, not 5, but a good solid 4 years,
mm-hmm.
and it's a pretty tight-knit group. So, and a lot of help. A lot of folks eager to help, and you don't have any of the bull that you see in a lot of other places. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
I hate to say that, but it's a good thing.
Yep.
So let's talk some ducks. I know. I've done 100 podcasts. We always talk about dogs and that. I'm ready to talk about ducks.
That's right.
These feel like it's getting cooler. You know what I mean?
You guys. Teal season's knocking on our door, man. It's here we're only about 6 weeks away from hopefully shooting teal. With how hot it is, and it looks like it's staying hot around the country. It's not looking promising for teal season, but. Yeah, I've learned.
It's gonna be hot. You know it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be sticky. It's gonna be miserable. There's gonna be cottonmouth. There's gonna be all kinds of different snakes and mosquitoes out the yin yang. But just like any waterfowler, we're idiots. We'll get out there in the middle of it, traverse it, and swat mosquitoes, and kill 2 ducks.
That's right.
Happy as a lark.
That's true.
Now, Freddy, how long have you were you born and raised in Arkansas?
Well, no, I was born in southern Louisiana.
Okay.
Just outside of St. Martinville is where I grew up.
Yeah.
I was born in St. Martinville, but about age of 12 or 13, we moved away from there, and I ended up here.
Okay.
So, and we've lived here since I was 13. I'm 53, so 40 years I've been an Arkansas resident. I like the Hogs still.
Yeah, I heard that. What
I'm still a tiger, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, how long you been duck hunting?
As long as I can remember.
That's...
I've got fond memories of me and my Papa Duchamp going hunting in Chapel River Basin.
Yeah.
And when I was 7, 8 years old, even earlier than that, but it's hard for me to remember though that far back. But I definitely remember, hunts when we were 7 or 8 years old, and I wasn't just a complete tag along.
Yes, sir. So
I grew up in it, and unfortunately moved to Arkansas. My dad is not just a hardcore waterfowler, but we hunted enough, and even back then had dogs. But just always been a part of my life.
Mm-hmm. It's and you're very well known as a trainer and the retriever trainer. But you and the Echo Boys and those videos you used to make, y'all pile up some birds up there in Arkansas now.
Well, we've been known to kill a couple.
Yeah, just a couple, huh?
Yeah, and we still hunt together. We don't do the DVDs.
Yeah.
Now, Rick Dunn, owner of Echo Dogs, he's kind of gone with this social media thing, and everything's starting to be put either live, either done live or we come back, edit it, and put it out on social media sites, YouTube, Facebook, video, all the other things. Just, pretty much like anybody. It's the best way now, to, I guess, mass market.
Yeah, without a doubt. I was telling Vang, our co-host on here, he'd never heard of. I was telling him about your videos. He'd never heard of them. I told him, I said, well, when we get off this podcast, you need to go over to his YouTube channel and scroll through them and get a better idea of who you just talked to, because it's
Let me defend myself. So I have seen your videos, but I didn't recall seeing your name or who made the video. So I was like, oh, I know who he is.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
But I am going to go back and pay attention more to your videos.
Yeah, actually, last year was the last year for the DVD.
Yeah.
And so, Tyler, the little guy, was friends, he absolutely, and it just kind of took the wind out of our sails to do a lot of things, and one of them was the DVD, and we said, you know what, let's kind of go a different route. That's what we did, and it's been fun. We're just kind of telling short stories and this and that. Still kind of putting us together a little bit, but they just ain't the long style hunting. You get on the DVDs, of course.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of how everything in the world is going. Is people's attention spans are cutting out, and they don't want to wait around for stuff. It's like anything; they just want it now. They want all the bang bang action, and I don't.
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that.
That's right. And and to everybody's defense, I'm kind of that way too. My attention span is short. So you got to be really doing something to keep my attention. And Peanut will attest to that. And for the folks that don't know who Peanut is, that's my wife.
So up there in Arkansas, what's your prominent? What do you kill the most? Mallards, I'm assuming.
Well, mallards is the number one sought after duck in Arkansas. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. The green pepper duck hunt, mallards is what you're going to kill 99% of the time. But of course, we have pretty much all the other species that are common to the Central Flyway.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and don't get me wrong, we're opportunists. If it comes in the hole and there's not a mallard around, we're pretty much going to shoot it.
I heard that. Yeah. It's so you're hunting. Is it just predominantly is all you hunt timber or?
Well, now when we were doing the Mallard Madness DVD series, yes, it was predominantly green timber duck hunting, both public and private. And then here in the last year or so, we've kind of gone back to the roots. Everybody doesn't start hunting in the timber.
Mm-hmm.
We cut our teeth hunting in sloughs, backwaters, willow flats, or willow breaks actually. And just I haven't gone back hunting rice fields. I just can't stand the private bit. But
yeah,
we're hunting oxbows more, and we may not be hunting the timber every single day, but we're going pretty much every single day. So it's kind of say we kind of got back to the roots of where we first started as far as actually most of us duck hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fun because, we're shooting a lot of different ducks now. It's not just mallards. We kill the snot out of teal. We shoot a bunch of gadwalls. To me, teal and gadwalls are better eating ducks than mallards. And we'll kill canvasbacks. We just about killing the 44 genre of ducks. So it's not just not the mallard anymore, which makes it fun too.
Yeah, no, I agree. We don't, or me personally, I've said it on here before, I don't kill stacks of mallards all the time. Predominantly, we kill, I'd say majority of our birds are gadwalls. And like you said, A gadwall eats just fine for me. And at the end of the day, I mean,
I'm with you 100%. I'd rather eat a gadwall than a mallard.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't want to forget this question because we've asked it every week. This was actually Vang's question, but since we're talking eating ducks, what's your go-to duck recipe? What's your favorite way to prepare them?
Well, if I got people coming over that's never ate duck and I want to, and I know they're going to sneak it in on them, and I know they're going to like it and actually love it, I'll do jalapeno stuffed ducks.
Yeah.
And I'll do them two different ways. A lot of times it depends, but most of the time I'll do cream cheese, put it in spit the jalapeno and that sort of thing. And ducks been marinated for a couple of days, that sort of thing, and grill it.
Yeah.
And wrap it with bacon, and you just can't beat it.
No.
You can't beat it. And that's my go-to if I've got to. If I'm fixing, ducks for folks that ain't had it. But grilled ducks is going to always be one of my favorites.
Yeah. No, are you primarily a breast them out, or do you ever pluck them and roast them, or?
Here's what I do. I pluck all the breasts on every duck, and I leave them skin on.
Yeah.
And no matter what, it's at least going to have the skin on the breast. That skin on that breast makes all the difference in the world.
It sure does.
And so no matter what, they're all going to get plucked to some extent. Let's say the bulk of them, I do breast them out, but I will pluck probably 100 ducks a year.
Yeah.
And put them up that way. Just because, we like to bake ducks too, and a lot of my folks are from Louisiana, so that's where we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Duck dressing, and baking ducks and those sorts of things. And my great grandmother, before she died, you can guarantee you better give her a bunch of plucked ducks every single year, because on Christmas you just have a duck dressing and a bunch. She cooked I don't know how she cooks it, but baked ducks.
Yeah, I mean, teal especially, to me, there's only one way to cook a teal, and that's plucking it and roasting it. And a lot of people, predominantly breast their ducks. I mean, it's more work to pluck a duck for sure, but I think the rewards are well worth it. And Maddie enjoys, my fiance, she enjoys eating a roasted or a whole roasted or baked duck way more than she enjoys just eating breasts, however we fix them up. So that's one thing I do. As long as they don't get too shot up, I try and pluck most of my birds. But
don't get me wrong, I pluck ducks too, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what, these guys get special out.
It depends on the kind of day it was,
I'm with you, and I'm not bragging or anything. Man, I'm telling you, we kill a decent number of ducks. I don't want to say a lot of ducks. We kill a decent number of ducks. My guy, he gets tired of plucking a lot of ducks.
Uh-huh.
Doing his day in, day out. So we'll hunt 58 days a year, and out of the 60, we will at least hunt 58 days. And we don't limit out every day by any means, but we'll kill enough ducks to where it's extremely taxing to try to pluck all those ducks. And it seems like more and more I get to take more ducks home.
Yeah. It's funny to say, I usually do. I'm usually the one who gets loaded up with the ducks, and like you said, I don't mind at all. Hell, we'll keep the good ones. If I got too many ducks, we'll freeze the good ones whole and keep them for the dogs, and the rest of them will either get frozen or cooked up that night, or however we want to.
That's it. And a lot of people probably saw it this past year a little bit more what we do when we're hunting. But I literally grill ducks every single morning duck season.
Yeah.
We're hunting out of the blind or in the boat. I fire up the grill and I'm grilling ducks. You know? And it's to me they're just as good that way as about anyway.
Yeah.
Anybody can eat it that way when they've been marinated right.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, I guess my next question is, since you've been hunting Arkansas so long, you know, what over the years, you know, talking to people, because I'm not from Louisiana originally, I'm from Indiana. Yeah, I'm a Yankee that got displaced down here, and I've been stuck. But you know, everyone around here talks about the old days and the migrations and how things have changed, and the different factors that contribute to that. What, in your opinion, in Arkansas, has the duck hunt changed in your 40 years of experience? And what would you point that to?
Well, yeah, duck hunting's changed. I mean, good grief. I mean, look at how many different shotgun models and makes and types and shotgun shells and bolts and camo and leases. And I mean, everything's changed 100%.
Yeah.
There's 10 times more of us now out there going than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of people want to say it's this and that. That's kind of, you know, as far as changing maybe the habits of the ducks, but it's 100% hunt pressure. It ain't nothing but us doing it.
Yeah.
You know, they want to talk about food and eating all that kind of stuff. But duck hunt, you know, to get back to the changes, you know, there's a ton of better products now that are out there. I don't get nearly as cold as I used to, just because, you know, we got quality stuff to wear.
Yeah.
It ain't, you know, hand-me-downs. Till I was 20 years old, you know, I wore hand-me-down waders and coats and all kinds of insulation, that sort of thing. We just kind of threw together what we needed for a morning's hunt. We got out there and had everything leaked and we cold and all those kinds of things. But now, you know, products from everything from the gun to the shells to the clothing we wear to the decoys to the duck calls we blow, every single thing is a lot better, and every single thing has 8 or 10 different brands to choose from.
Yeah.
So, you know, and back in the day, it wasn't that way. And just to add to that, we're better duck hunters now than what we used to be. You know, we don't, back in, when I grew up hunting, we hunted the same exact hole, Papa Ducey on down, and the family, Uncle Dean, Uncle Marcel, and Uncle Greg, and Don, and all of us, you know, we stayed out on the out here on the basin on a houseboat, and we'd go out, we'd hunt the exact same spot, we'd throw out 6 decoys, we'd sit in the edge of the reeds and just wait on ducks. If the duck flew over or a little flock, what have you, you whacked a couple of times, and most of them didn't have near the pressure, so they swing around, boom, they're in the hole, no problem whatsoever. But now there's just so much pressure. Ducks have gotten smart. We've educated the snot out of them. People don't want to say it, but we have educated, just like dogs. We've made the dogs today are a hell of a lot smarter and better than the dogs that we were breeding and running in tests.
Yep.
Even just 10 years ago.
Oh yeah. You know, and I'm glad you said that, because I think it was our Alaska podcast that we did a couple weeks ago. You know, I was telling them down here in Louisiana, you know, by the time the ducks get to us, I mean, they've seen every single decoy spread you could imagine. And I've said, you know, I think we got it the hardest down here in the South, just because of, you know, all the jackasses up north. I mean, they see everything, and the ones that make it wears it out on us. I mean, we got to hunt 10 times harder, especially, the last couple years. There hasn't been a great migration for us down here. So it's been a struggle. And then the ones you do get, I mean, they're wise. They're wise to mojos. And, if one decoy looks off, I mean, they do cue in on it. And a lot of people like to say they don't, but I'm a firm believer, like you said, that they are educated, and a duck is a lot smarter than people give it credit for.
Well, they are, and the ducks are passing you up too, passing Louisiana, and Texas, and Arkansas. They're passing us up a lot quicker. So how do you know that, Freddy? I said, well, in Mexico, they're still showing numbers that rival numbers of 15 or 20 years ago.
Yep.
So they've got as many, if not more, ducks coming down there. So they've learned to come in, get what they need, and then get the heck out of Dodge and keep on traveling south. And a lot of people don't want to admit that, but that's true.
Yeah, and I would agree that's predominantly because of the pressure here. We have a lot of public land here, but I mean, we have so many hunters in Arkansas. I mean, you guys not only have a lot of resident hunters, but Arkansas is a huge non-resident state as well. So the amount of hunting pressure up there, I can imagine, is just unbelievable.
Well, I'm gonna explain it as best and as easy as I can. So, and I've said this before, not that I'm this and that, but 20 years ago, 25 years ago, our duck season consisted of Saturdays and Sundays. And a lot of Sundays we did not hunt. Monday through Fridays, literally everybody worked.
Yeah.
Literally everybody worked, through that time, and you got to hunt Saturday morning, and that's when everybody would show up. And even then, the numbers, we'd show up at the boat ramp, and it might be full, but you still could find a place to hunt, and there wouldn't be anybody within, 500 or 600 yards.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is now everybody hunts. If you're just an average duck hunter,
yeah,
as far as time, you're hunting 40 to 45 days a year.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just all there is to it. I mean, I'm now hunting 50 plus 58 days, like I said, but it's 50 plus days a year. I'm duck hunting, and there is so many of us now doing that. It's not like what it was, and there was a lot of times that we didn't hunt on Sunday, just because we were more prone to go to church back then.
Yeah.
Go get back to that. Maybe my duck hunting get that, but it's the act of chasing the duck, the hunting per person, the days spent afield is 10 times what it used to be. I mean, there's so many others doing that ducks just don't get to rest like they used to. And ducks at that time, they acted stupid. People talk about the good old days, and they weren't good old days. But we're actually, now it's the good old days. It's, we kill 4 mountains. We kill 6 ducks. I'm talking about days, but there are times when we were only allowed the mallard drake and the mallard hen. I'm talking about if you kill a point system that if you killed a hen first, you were done.
Yeah.
And people just don't understand that. And they want to talk about it. Well, of course, you went out there the first few flock of ducks, boom, boom, you were done. And I mean, but people forget about that, and the way things are now versus then, and they want to blame, this going on up north, or this going on over there, that club's got this and all that, when it ain't nothing but ourselves that is the public land hunter, truthfully, the guys that hunt 60 days or 40 plus days a year that's caused the migration to maybe shift, that's pushed the ducks out of areas, and they're on their final migration grounds to the south as far as they want to go a lot quicker, and they don't stick around. They bounce a lot more. They're just a heck of a lot smaller.
Yeah, and I'd say I think last year was extremely bad for that with everyone teleworking. Every day they were out there hunting. At least in our spots, the 2 years prior, during the week, if I took a day off work during the week to go hunt, I'd be the only person out there. But last year, I mean, every backwater slough and pond and lake that we hunt, 7 days a week, there was at least one person in each spot. And so I think COVID really did a number on our duck season last year as far as pressure went.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's like a lot of places with COVID, everyone started picking up outdoors, even with like fishing and boating and stuff like that too. So COVID is like a big thing that brought people more outdoors.
Yeah. And like we said on that one podcast, I love new people finding the sport. Just wish they'd all go find it in a different state.
That's right. Well, we got to have here, we can sit here and whine and grind and talk about this, talk about that, but we got to have every one of us, out there that we can bring new people to the sport as much as possible and introduce it to kids. Because we don't, it's just like your guns. They're going to take it away.
That's right. We, speaking of, limits, and you've been around, like you said, hunting up there for 40 years. You've seen the limits change all over. What's your limits right now up in Arkansas as far as big ducks?
Well, as far as big duck, we can kill 6 gadwalls. We can kill 4 mallards. We can kill 1 pintail, 2 canvasbacks, I believe it is now. It changes every year.
Yeah.
They manipulate things, so you better be paying attention to the book.
Mm-hmm.
But the gadwalls and the mallards, that's pretty much it as far as the big ducks. Still, you can kill 6. So we got, and we've been doing that for I guess about 14 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago. It really is. It's not that long ago. And when they switched this to that bigger duck limit and gave us 60 days instead of 30, I remember hunting 30 days and only been able to kill 2 ducks.
Yeah.
Come on. So now we can hunt 60 days and kill 6 ducks, hunt every single day, and got all this good stuff and these fast boats and these big butt looking, decoys, and everybody can blow a duck call, and most everybody. It's just a completely different game with a lot more folks out there enjoying it, and it's taken away a little bit as far as limits for let's say full limits to go around. Of course, you got that more people with the same amount of ducks, then that's going to mean less ducks per person, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's still 100% good. Last year we had a decent season. We had to jump around, that sort of thing. But it's hunting. It's duck hunting. It's going to change. It's going to be different every year. Weather. We're going to be at Mother Nature's mercy. We're going to be at the folks that set the rules mercy, and we just got to make the best we can with the time we can out there. That's all there is to it.
And that's why we love it. It's
That's it.
That's one of my.
I got a dog. I get have somebody out there that likes it as much as me when it's not that good.
Yeah, it's that's one of my favorite things personally about duck hunting and waterfowl in general is, like you said, every day is something different. You're never going to have 2 hunts that are exactly the same. And even on those shitty days, like you said, I mean, it's still just the feeling of actually getting out there and watching the sunrise and, hearing wood ducks flying through the trees. And it just, I mean, you can't beat it, man. You couldn't put a price tag on that. And we were, if you get the chance, you'll have to go back and listen to our Alaska podcast. But up in Alaska, they get to kill 8 ducks and they can kill 8 mallards. And kill 8 anything pretty much. I think our limits down here are pretty similar to Arkansas, and you guys have a 3 split season, right?
Yeah, they split our seasons in three different groups, and then they limit non-resident hunters to certain days within those. I think non-residents can't hunt the second split, and there's certain days of the first split they can hunt, and the last split certain days.
Yeah. Louisiana just followed suit with that. This year, they started ours as a 3 split state. There's not any restrictions on non-residents. I'm not sure if their logic was to follow suit with you because Arkansas has better hunting or what it is, but we're going to be trying that out this year for the first time.
Well, I like splits. First of all, it keeps me from getting more out.
Yeah.
But the main thing I like about the split is it does give the ducks a little bit of time to where, it's not like opening morning, but it does give them a little bit of time to kind of get in areas and use it. You can get in there and use it banking for a day or two if you're on.
Yeah.
And most important, like I said, you need those breaks if you're hunting 58 days a year, 50 plus. You'll want those breaks.
Oh, I agree, and I'm kind of excited for it because ours is usually the first split. When we had 2 splits, the first split would run for about 20 days or 3 weeks, 21 days, and then the rest of it would be in the second split. And like you said, I mean, when that second split's winding down and you're up over 30 days or so, I mean it drags you down. I mean it's you get to the point where it's hard to wake up and go to the duck blind. So, I think we'll like that break.
Not only that, sometimes the wife gets freaking tired of you leaving. Like they want some time together.
Well, you guys just don't spend enough time together then, because Maddie enjoys duck. Maddie's excited for duck season.
He's always just like, "Are you sure you want to go to get today or whatever?" I'm like, yeah.
Maddie.
Well, I can promise you, I'm the guy that drags them all out of bed. I mean, if you're supposed to go the next morning, when my alarm gets up or goes off, I'll get up and I'm early to rise no matter where we're going.
Yeah.
And or what we're doing. I'm going to get up an hour earlier than I need to. But I'll take that hour and I'm starting to I'll text everybody. Whoever doesn't text me back, I'm up. Their phone's gonna start ringing, and their phone's gonna keep ringing, and it'll keep ringing, and it'll keep ringing. But and if they said they were going, and they didn't, but they're not gonna get to hunt the next 2 or 3 days. That I will guarantee.
Yeah.
I will send them pictures of great buds and all that kind of mess, but they are not going to go with me the next 2 or 3 days.
That's fair.
I'm more hardcore about that this year.
Yeah. No, I that's fair completely.
I'm gonna rub it in too. I promise.
What do you guys hunt primarily public or private, or are you kind of split?
Well, I mean, we used to hunt probably 70% public.
Yeah.
And here, since we've kind of changed things up, we're probably about 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're fortunate enough to have a couple of real good friends that's got some property, and then of course we lease some stuff, and then we've got our own property to hunt, so we can jump around. None of them are great duck hunting spots, but if you let them rest and at the right time, they can be, you can have some really nice hunts. I wouldn't say epic hunts, but you can have some really nice hunts.
Yeah, for sure. As far as Arkansas is considered, do you think you guys have enough or a good amount of public land for waterfowling compared to other states, or?
Yeah, we've got a decent amount. Arkansas is the top state in the nation, really, as far for green timber reservoir hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to that, I don't think there's any other state that can match the amount of timber we have to hunt. Now, don't get me wrong, Louisiana's got millions upon millions of acres, of the Chapelire River Basin. But for some reason, it's not considered green timber duck hunting, and I don't know why. I guess because it's mostly tupelo and cypress and spillways and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But and the ducks really don't hit that a lot because there's not just a whole lot of food in those areas. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's and I say we hunt timber a lot, but our timber and your timber are completely opposite worlds. And when you think about Arkansas, the first thing you think about is just mallards locked up coming over the treetops into this little timber hole. And like you said, I mean, when we started this podcast, and have a predetermined list of where we think states will rank, Arkansas is a top competitor just because, historically that's been everyone's favorite place to be. And there's so many big names and companies in and around Arkansas that, it's the duck capital of the world. I mean, so they say anyway, and
well, that's what they say, and that's a double-edged sword too. Now, it does bring a lot of folks to the state, but it does generate a lot of money for the state. So it's good and bad. It's like anything. You can't have your cake. Well, I don't know how to put that. But you know what I'm saying.
I do, yeah.
You got to have all the ingredients. That's all there is to it. And I'd rather things be as they are than us not have the opportunity to get out there and chase birds.
Oh yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and
if that means sharing my hole with more people, then so be it. If that means that certain areas will have to go to draw hunts to keep the pressure light, then so be it. Those sorts of things. I'm one of those guys that I'm 100% about sharing it and passing it on, and not going to say this is mine or that's mine, but it's everybody's.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Do you if anyone wanted to come up and anyone listening wants to come watch or do some duck hunting in Arkansas, you got any advice for them?
Well, I mean, there's all they got to do is get online and search.
Yeah.
I mean, the Arkansas's got a ton, like what we're talking about, is a ton of management areas and federal ground that's 100% full waterfowl.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say probably if you add in all the federal stuff and all the state-owned stuff, you're probably encroaching on 1 million acres worth of public property.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some of it's better than other pieces, but at times all of it's equal. So it's just a matter of learning the state where the ducks bounce back and forth, and we got to work our butts off to stay on if we're going to stay on.
Yeah.
Day in, day out, because ducks that might be in this public area in the northeast section of the state, the very next day, that same big group, 30, 40, 50,000 ducks could be, on the Louisiana border in Arkansas.
Yeah.
One of those management areas. So, and that's something else that we're lucky about. We've got a pretty good echo boys, all that. We've got a pretty solid group of guys that we got contacts everywhere.
Yeah, I heard that.
Man, y'all should have seen the ducks coming in this afternoon. Where you at? Y'all come on.
Well, and I imagine
I'll bounce in a New York minute, buddy.
Oh, and I imagine you get those texts pretty often. You know, being the dog guy, everyone wants to hunt with a good dog. So I'm sure that comes with plenty of perks.
Well, I will say a good dog has got me on some duck hunt.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can imagine that. We do have a couple of questions we kind of ask everyone just for fun. What kind of boat do you got, Freddie?
I run Excel boats. Excel surface drive boat, shallow water boat. I run mud buddy motors.
What kind of shotgun do you shoot?
I shoot a 20 gauge McNelly M2, tricked out by Rob Roberts.
Look at that. That I was just telling Thad. Every time someone brings up a 20 gauge.
I heard that, man. I love my 20. I use it for everything. And last year I killed a lot of ducks with the 28 gauge, and then I even killed some ducks with a 410. Like,
yeah, really.
Taking that new loads and stuff, they're so much better now. And that I remember when we could shoot lead for ducks. That's
Yeah.
how long I've been duck hunting. And and then it went to steel, and it was scrappy, first steel, and everything got good. Now, we're throwing some of this daggone freaking TSS at them. And out of 28 gauge, that stuff is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But it's expensive.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
it comes at the price.
I can feed half of Ethiopia with filet mignon. But I probably throw with the TSS. The dang thing about it is, it makes them daggone shotguns leap the door.
Yeah. So what shells are you shooting?
We're shooting Apex shells.
Apex?
Yeah, Apex, TSS, and a blend. And I mean, that stuff is spot on. And out of my 20 gauge, it's incredible enough. But when you start shooting those smaller bores, a lot of people, they laugh at 410. But today's shells, the way they're made and how they're put together, and the material that they have, it's just, they're extremely lethal waterfowl guns.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like you said, I mean, technology definitely has its pros and cons. Everyone can kind of mutually agree that steel shot just doesn't have the pop that lead does, but they do have alternatives, non-toxic shots that punch hard. You just got to be willing to spend the money for them. And if you're too cheap to spend the money for them, then I mean, you can't bitch about your steel shot. Is the way I see it.
Well, that's it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you gotta, hunt with steel shot, or if you use steel, you gotta take shots that are what's the word I'm looking for, ethical,
Mm-hmm.
and and know the yardages. But it's the same, if I'm shooting that 28 gauge and it's loaded with 7.5 TSS, I can't kill a duck any further than somebody with number 4s shooting a 3-inch 12 gauge, and I can't kill one any further.
Yeah.
But I can kill one just as dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of, plus it doesn't get near as hard.
I can imagine.
Yeah, we had talked about that kick. My training shotgun is an 870 pump that I trained, the dog today. Well, this morning we threw live birds in the water for all the, and it's on my Facebook page, live feed.
Yeah.
All the young dogs got live birds. We threw it on the water. We're teaching them, how to hunt those birds. Diving, teaching them to stay in the area and look instead of, a lot of dogs will swing back to you. So,
Yeah.
we had a couple of them, get away. And Colby, he comes out there and I didn't have any shells in the truck. He had some 3-inch Apex number 2s that were steel. And I shot one of them ducks out there on the water, and it swatted him. But that thing, like, I got a bruise on my cheek. And I'm like, why in the world would somebody want to shoot that? And I get a gun and says, you go kill the rest of them. I ain't shooting this thing. So, I mean, I turned in us. I know it.
Yeah, that's funny. We got we got one more. Well, I got one more question for you. What's your go-to snack that you got to throw in your blind bag when you're heading out to hunt?
Man, those daggone little Debbie Christmas trees. I think that's about as good as it gets when you got a cup of coffee out there.
Yeah, we've
I think everybody knows which one I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah, we've got a wide variety of responses on that one. So that's one of the fun questions I like to ask because everyone's different. As long as you don't say honey buns, I mean we're good.
Yeah. No, it's them little Debbie snacks, and of course we got all the other staples. We got the we'll have a bunch of deer summer sausage.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have, oatmeal cookies. Somebody's gonna have this, somebody's gonna have that. And so we learn to filter into each other's bags when we get home. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Yeah. How many states have you got to hunt in, Freddie?
Well, that pretty much about all of them that a duck can be shot in, I've just about hunted. I'm lucky, a lot of people don't know it, but I was a camera guy.
Yeah.
Field editor, producer for several different outdoor television shows, Final Approach TV being one of them, Water Dog TV being another one of them. Did a lot of stuff for MOJO Outdoors back in the day.
Yeah.
Did a lot of stuff for Waterfowl TV. So, I mean, I've traveled. I've been literally to every state that you can shoot a duck in, and both filming and hunting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been around, and then plus I was the main editor producer for Blood Brothers TV, and waterfowling was one of our big deals.
So not a bad life, huh?
Do what?
That's not a bad life, huh?
Well, no, and I did that for years. I traveled around and filmed hunts and part of hunts, and met a ton of great people through too. I mean, it's fun. So from Canada to Mexico, Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina, I've hunted pretty much there in New Zealand. So I've kind of jumped around.
Yeah. So with all that experience and all these different places, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you fit Arkansas duck hunting on that scale?
It's going to always be a 10 to me.
Okay.
Because I mean, just the way you hunt, the people, the variety, the fun, everything that you get to do.
Yeah.
You've got everything from running mud flats with boats to, I mean, it's literally about everything, you know. So I mean, that right there just makes it top of the line to me.
Heard that. 10 out of 10 for Arkansas. So that's going to be a tough one to beat.
It is. And don't get me wrong, I love hunting in Louisiana. I love going down there with Mom. I love hunting, Canada. I love hunting. I've had some big bud hunts in Mississippi. But Arkansas is going to always be. And plus, I know it. I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
So with that, that's a big major deal too.
It sounds like Arkansas is a must-go hunt state for sure. Then for us,
it's definitely a bucket list. It's on my bucket list to get on in some green timber Arkansas. I haven't got the chance to yet, and hell, it's only a couple hours away from me. We're up in Shreveport. I mean, Arkansas borders 40 minutes from my front door, and I still haven't went up there and got to do it. But maybe one of these days I'll come hunt some timber with you.
Well, if you just holler, I've got some real good friends from the Shreveport area that come up and hunt. around us.
Yeah.
I'll see them, that sort of things. But no, being a sister state, so to speak, it'd be almost crazy not to come up there and learn a few areas.
That's right. We that's on my to-do list. It seems like every year as hunting season comes around, my to-do list keeps growing, and unless things get accomplished. It's and with the podcast, and then we've been trying to record our hunts, nowhere to the extent that you've got the chance to do in your lifetime. Maybe one day, but just trying to grow everything. Arkansas might be in our plans this year. So hopefully we can make a trip up there and we can fact check what you told us.
Well, the thing about it is people talk about doing this and doing that, and the thing about it is you just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to say, we're going, no matter what, we're going. And you just got to do it. That's all there is to it.
Yes, sir. Well, Freddie, it was a great episode. I appreciate you for taking your time out of your busy day and coming on and talking ducks with us for about an hour or so. I can't thank you enough. And like I said, the retriever trainer and everything you do for everyone's amazing. So thank you again, for all the time and commitment that you put into that. I honestly don't know when you sleep between replying to messages, maintaining your property, training dogs, everything you do. I don't know how you hunt 58 days a year, but I aspire to be like you one day.
Well, that's just it. I hunt so I can sleep.
So
but no, I've enjoyed it, guys. I really have enjoyed it. Y'all holler at me anytime. Be glad to come back home and talk about anything. Talk about squirrel hunting next time y'all want to.
Hey, I mean, whatever you want. Well, hopefully we can get you on. We got this 50 states. Arkansas is only number 4. We got a lot of states to go. So we still got a whole pretty much year left of this podcast. So maybe next year, the first episode back to reality, we'll talk about squirrel hunting or dogs or something.
I heard you there. Well, y'all have a good holler at me anytime.
Yes, sir, Freddie. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. And Vang, do I still got you on here, buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm still here.
All right. Yeah, we're good, Freddie.
I didn't ramble too much, did I?
No, you did great.
I got to have a lot of time to go blah, 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 blah. Anyway,
No, you did.
Anytime y'all need anything whatsoever, y'all holler at me.
Hey, and likewise to you. I don't know what all I can do for you, but if you need something, just holler at me.
It's just fun talking ducks and dogs, buddy. That's all. That's the main thing right there.
That's right. Well, hopefully it'll be here before we know it. We only got a few weeks till teal.
Oh yeah, it will be, and then we'll be whining because it's over.
Amen to that.
Yeah, that's it. All right, buddy. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
We'll see you.
All right. We got you still, Vang?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, buddy. Well, everyone, thank you for watching again. Like I said, we had to do this one over the phone, so it was a little bit different than we normally do. But again, I appreciate y'all for checking us out. And Arkansas, to me, sounds like a pretty darn good place to be. I think anyone coming into this episode knew it would be. So with that being said, thank you guys again. If you're on Spotify or Apple or any of our podcast streaming services, go ahead, hit that follow button and stay tuned because next week we've got another fun episode coming up. If you're on YouTube, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share this podcast and the YouTube channel with your friends. As you guys heard in the podcast, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up this year, and we got this podcast rolling for a long, long time. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to come up and hunt with Vang up in Minnesota, but if not, Vang is going to come down to Louisiana and at least try and shoot a duck down here.
And I think we're going to make a stop in Arkansas first.
We might go to Arkansas. That's right. We'll, as long as Freddy will have us, I'll pack my bags.
Yeah.
But Vang, I appreciate you giving me your time like you do every week. And again, thanks to everyone who stopped by. We'll see y'all next week.